How are we doing today? I hope you're having a great day. Today's video was actually never going to be published. I don't like doing videos that talk shit about people or companies, but this is about METALCLOAK. So after the video, watch till the end, because at the end there's also an installation problem, and I did call METALCLOAK and I will give you their answer, which is why I didn't post the video.
I'm not going crazy, but lately these thoughts in my head are a whirlwind of a world of a million regrets. All the things I should have done, all the things I should have said, all the pain that comes with hating the mess you've made of yourself. I know I'm chasing rainbows, thinking I can make it work, but the fact is that my actions speak louder than my words, and it only makes it worse thinking of her, thinking she'll forgive me. Must be the whiskey. I've been drinking to remember and drinking to forget. I got I love you on my mind. I got Jim Beam on my breath, and loneliness has got the rest. I've got nothing left within me. It must be the whiskey.
On this one, I want to show you another thing which I'm not too happy about. Right here, this is your bracket. This goes, you get a bolt here, and your track bar goes in here. That's a beautiful weld. But, and I know it's probably to fit against it flat, but I say there's a 1/4% of the metal that's not welded all the way through. Now this is where your track bar connects to. Now, your track bar is what keeps your axle straight and also helps with your center of gravity. I'm not happy with that. I want to, on everything else I bought, even cheaper companies, the weld has always gone through. This is the first time I've ever seen something where the weld has not gone through. So, and you hear stories about people's brackets, upper brackets loosening up over time. I'm not about loosening up, I'm worried about snapping it if I flex the hell out of this thing. That's what I'm worried about. So, might be a small concern to some people, but I would think a weld should go all the way through. I was always taught weld should go all the way through, even with a bevel. That's why you're doing it. You're making the weld go all the way through. So that's not welded all the way through. And in general, I'll take some little videos of it, but the finish on this thing is just, I mean, I'll take some close-ups right here, faded. I mean, it's rubbed off right here. I mean, at this point in time, rubbed off over here. Why even bother zinc coating it? Just send it to me bare metal or powder coat it. Because their whole thing about zinc coating is, again, it's not about the beefy, the bar is beefy, heavy as hell, the joints are nice. It's about the finish of it. It just, and I'm not one for finish, but I rather have, be honest about the finish. And not really happy about the finish, not happy about the weld. And then my last thing I'm not happy about, and this is, again, I'm not down in METALCLOAK. I really like METALCLOAK. I mean, I think their fenders are awesome. I'm all for METALCLOAK, and I've been following them for years. But these bump stocks, I want to show you something. Again, it might not mean anything to some people, but okay, let me see if I can get a better picture on it. I'm not sure how this picture is going to come out, but you can see how it's peeling in the metal ring all around. Why even coat it with rubber on the top if you do such a piss poor job that it's already cracking around the seam? I mean, again, if it doesn't come out on video, I'll do a separate video just to show you it. But, and that's not just one. This is the one I put in, and when you're putting in bump stops, we all know you have to kind of push them in there. Take a look what happened to that one. That's just, come on. Yeah, I mean, that whole one side is already thrashed out. It might not make a difference, but I'm just saying, why even bother? If you're going to coat it, it should be coated with rubber so it doesn't come peeling off right when you start putting your bump stops in. Now, I'm not putting these in, but that's not their fault. That's my own fault. So why do we need a track bar for a Jeep? The reason you need adjustable track bar for your lifted Jeep is two reasons. When you lift up your Jeep, the track bar is a length, it's going to shorten up and it's going to shift your axle over. Now, I've done my measurements already on this. I am a 1/2 inch too far on this side. So I'm going to adjust it a 1/4 inch to the left and that should center me off. So that's one reason you need a track bar. The other reason you need a track bar is your center of gravity. When you take that track bar and it's down here and you lift it up, that center of gravity line, like if you drew a line straight down your Jeep where your axle is and where your track bar goes across your meatball, that's going to lift up. So you're raising your center of gravity, which is going to also is more tipping. And since we put the disconnecting sway bar in here, I want this thing to be as closer to stock where your gravity line would possibly be, where the tipping line is. So that's another reason why you're going to put on a adjustable track bar. Here we're laying down again. Now we're going to put on the extension bracket. A couple things. You have a hole down here and a hole up here. That lines up with your plastic cover holes right here and here, but these bolts don't fit in there, so we're going to have to drill those out. They give you the hardware and the washers. Then they give you a crush sleeve. Crush sleeve is just going to go in here. Let me do that better. Right there. And you have to use your own hardware. I don't have the original hardware, it was too far gone, so I bought another grade 8 bolt. So I'll do that. So first thing first, we're going to drill these suckers out. So okay, now we're done with the drilling. These bolts should fit in here. Yep, they fit in. Next step is to get them to line up and put our hands, fingers, and try to thread them. Oh, this is gonna go like this. I'm gonna try to do the top one first. Just make our lives easier. Okay, top is in. Let's line up the bottom, make sure everything lines up correctly. Okay, so we know we get both of them in. Take our washer and our bolt, and now we're gonna try to finger them in. I said finger it in. I swear, I never know working on a vehicle can be so suggestive. Okay. Track bar is in. I wanted to show you a close-up of that bolt that was giving me an issue. There is the bolt and there is a nut. You see how close they are? Unless your control arm is out, or maybe you have the original bolt, it might be easier, but that was a pain in the butt. So I put the bracket on, I tightened it, and then wouldn't you know it, the track bar wouldn't fit in there. I mean, way too small. So I said, oh, maybe that's part of the thing that holds that track bar in. So I loosened the bolt, I put the track bar in. That bolt on top is not even that tight. It's not even tight. And when I do tighten, that bushing is already crushed. This other joint right here, I have no issues with. This one is super easy. I measured everything. The axle is straight. This side is fine. I got no problem. But this side, I mean, it's just one of those things. Sometimes you think something's gonna be 2-second job, super easy, and winds up kicking your ass. This kicked my ass. I'm just not happy with it. So I need to call them and see, maybe my bracket was bent. Maybe it's supposed to be crushed beyond belief. But when I was bringing this up to check out the bump stock, which I have an issue with in a second, but when I was bringing this all the way up, it seemed like it was binding. Nothing else binded, but this thing seemed like it was binding. I did put the bump stock in, but I could not fit it into my regular tube, so I had to order a cup. Now I'm probably about an inch too long. I can probably get rid of the puck, but I want the puck there, so I'll figure that out later on. I might actually just change to 3.5 inch lift, I'm thinking now. So I got to reverse this. It's the weekend, so I can't call them now. I'm going to reverse the Jeep out and back it in so I can start working on the front axle and the front fender and the front grille. But so all this, I jacked it all the way up. I didn't go crazy with it, articulating and everything. I don't have a forklift or anything like that, but I did jack it all up. It all kind of lined up. This bracket, you gotta be careful because it is going to be closer to your gas lines and up here. So I made sure that's not hitting. And you might be wondering why I don't have shocks. The reason I don't have shocks is I have old Rancho shocks, but what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to have to decide if I'm going to go with the 3.5, and I measured this already, so I'm going to actually buy the shocks for the system. A lot of times you'll see people have the shocks already and they check their bump stops. I'm going to try to get as much articulation out of it and then get the right shock for that. But I will call them and I will make a video about what they said and see if I'm crazy or if this just not fitting my Jeep the right way. Maybe I'll get rid of that joint and put a different joint in. I don't know, but we'll find out. But it's in there and I'm going to be moving this Jeep now, so I'm happy about that. Also, I did put these brackets in here, so that's another thing that's gonna give me was a little bit different than the shock. So I gotta figure all that out. I'm not putting the gas tank back in. I'm just gonna push it out of the garage and push it back in. So wish me luck on that. So I hope you enjoyed that part of the video. Now I did call METALCLOAK. METALCLOAK, you know, they always answer the phone or call you back. They told me that the weld was done on purpose. I still don't agree with the weld. You're only getting half the strength of that steel, and that is your rear track bar. And if you look at all videos or forums, you'll see the bolt usually loosens up, or you're putting a lot of stress on that joint. So I'd rather see the weld all the way through. They told me that being so tight is normal, which again I don't agree with. I mean, I don't even need to put a bolt in. That's how tight it is when I torque everything down. That's crazy. That's not a good design. And they said, I told them about it binding, I heard it binding up a little bit because there was so much pressure when I did articulate the suspension. They said, just work it through, that's normal also. And the reason I made the video was because it was Columbus's holiday and they offered a 10% sale, and I was going to buy the front track bar, give it another shot, give them another shot, because I really do like the company. Their front fenders are awesome. I don't have one, but I mean, it's just a great design. And if you look at the reviews for the front track bar, on the TJ at least, the joint break pretty fast. And maybe they're concentrating more on the LJs and the newer Jeeps than the TJs, but maybe it's just a bigger company now and not focused on customer feedback. Well, I hope you enjoyed the video. Give a like or subscribe. I usually don't like making videos with hate, but it's not really hate, it's just the truth. Have a great day. Talk to you later.